the Deputy Minister's office gets about 1,200 complaints a year, and so those complaints are well tracked. And then other places within the ministry receives complaints too, and it's those other pieces that they don't have as well as established system to track them. They only track the ones that they think will require a safety improvement project. So there's a bit of a gap there. And what we're saying is that you should fill that gap just to make sure that you're demonstrating that, in fact, your policy requires that you follow up complaints on a timely basis and that you can demonstrate you're doing that. Well, I think for us, it's not so much the tracking of the complaints itself, but really what we found that was more of, perhaps more of interest is how they're coming up with their annual work plan, okay? What we're seeing there is that they've got a really good process to, when they figure out a project, complaint is there, they go through and they design a project to address that complaint. They do a priority scoring, which sets out like how important that project is to fix. And then there seems to be a bit of a disconnect between how they get there and their annual work plan. They don't have clear criteria as to how they select which projects are for their annual work plan. When we looked and did a drill down, what we found that, their annual work plan for 14-15 had 15 different projects. 5 of them weren't in that database where it set priorities. The ministry acknowledged that 2 were included at the direction of senior management. There were 6 in that listing that had lower scores than 53 other projects in the database. And so what we asked is now, how does that work? How do you get from the one point to the other? Now, they did share with us verbally that, some of it's because of other construction activity and they're trying to leverage that, et cetera. But what we're saying is that you should be able to have clear criteria so that you can show that you're working on the highest priority projects and that because those are the ones that you as a ministry have indicated and ranked as given the highest priority score. Now, make sure that you're focusing your efforts on those highest safety projects.